Welcome to the Lovely Important Nonsense Podcast. It's your boy Matt. Man, it feels good doing that again. Spelling. Let's begin. Guys, welcome back to the Lovely Important Nonsense Podcast. I know you missed me. I missed you also. Today we're going to speak about accountability. Accountability is a big subject that I had to myself had to face in the last few years. And what I always see is that people love to take lack of accountability for the things that they are going through, the problems that they see, the people that they meet. Uh, they want to say, "Oh, it's society's fault. Oh, it's my ex's fault. It's my mom and dad. They didn't raise me right." Everything is a problem, but it's never your fault. We get to a certain age in life where we got to actually start to think about who is who's really at fault for the way our life is shaped and what we do in this world. I was It was a time where I was putting the blame on everyone. You know, why am I living in the streets? Why why am I facing hardship? Why people want to shoot me? You know, whose fault is that at the end of the day? Can't always blame it on my mother. We already know that my upbringing wasn't the greatest. Can't blame it on society. We already understand that there's certain people in this world that is not for us, and they're not going to be kind to us, especially as a black male. What am I supposed to do? Say, hey, my teacher told me that I was going to end up in jail? Or am I going to say, hey, my I wasn't I wasn't good enough for him or her or whatever? You gotta find a way to take accountable for the situations that you are in. Did you do it? One thing I had done personally, especially for the last few years, is that I put myself on a stand. I gave myself certain decisions I had to make. I put the good and evil part of myself, and I put the evil part in the stand, and I asked them as if it was another person, and I asked them, what are you good for right now? Where have you taken me in this part of my life? People are scared because that when you do put that dark part in, we've been doing bad for so long that the the dark part of us has a face, and we're afraid to encounter that face. We're afraid to see who we really are when we look in the mirror. I've seen psychologists tell me that, and I read books, psychologists saying that some people have a hard time staring at themselves in the mirror longer than 5 minutes because it for after a 5 minute point, you actually start to morph and actually see yourself for who you really are. So sometimes you got to lock yourself away into that dark room, or stand in front of the mirror and put yourself on the stand and actually ask yourself the real hard questions. How did I get here? What did I do? Yeah. And this is gonna be some things that I say that probably rub people the wrong way. Maybe you're in an abusive situation. Maybe your significant other is doing something to you that they ain't supposed to do. What are you doing that you're allowing this situation to happen? I know things are terrifying sometimes, and it's hard to confront um, people that are hurting us. But a lot of times, if we confront ourselves first, it makes it easier for us to confront the other things. Are you really allowing yourselves to be in a position where someone could hurt you? Are you allowing yourself to feel this form of fear? Am I comfortable being this afraid? These are real questions you have to ask yourself. I had to talk to myself one time and talk and ask my darker half, hey, why are you so angry? What happened to us? What made us feel this way? Who you feel did it? And what can we do to change the situation? Am I supposed to live a life where this is how I'm going to feel the rest of my life? Am I supposed to blame people for who I am right now? Oh no, it's society's fault. It's the state of the world's fault. And we get to a point where you're an adult, and I always say this, especially to men. You get to a point when you're an adult and you have to go. You have to realize no one else cares. No one's going to. No one's going to pat you on the back and say it's okay. Especially when you become an adult. No, the childish things of the world is away. It's taken from you. You know, some people have to become an adult pretty early. Some people become an adult pretty late. But taking accountability is a job and a responsibility for everyone. Who, like, okay, let's just say, I've been a trainer for many years. If you're morbidly obese, whose fault is that? Is that the pizza man's fault for coming to your house and delivering over the 12 pies that you asked for? Nah, he gonna make his money. Let me tell you, if I'm a pizza man and you order 12 pies, I don't care who you are. I'm gonna deliver 12 pies because that's money in my pocket. That's not his responsibility to tell you no. Is he supposed to slap the spoon out of your hand? Is he? Whose fault is you're not waking up, going to work out? You're not giving yourself the extra 10 minutes a day or 20 minutes a day to do your push-ups, squats, or your sit-ups, or whatever. Whose fault is that? Is it your children because they got to go to school? These are questions I had to confront myself. Now I'm not saying that y'all guys know I'm a workout nut. I like to be in the gym. That's just what I like being in the gym because I'm afraid to have that conversation with myself when I wake up in the morning or that feeling you get where you be like, damn, I really didn't do everything I needed to do. One of the biggest ways that I was able to really take accountability for my life is that at the end of the night, after the day was over, I would take 30 minutes and just self-reflect, which is another thing that we have to do as adults. Just self-reflect on your day. All right, I got mad today. Why did I get mad today? Somebody cut me off in the road. It pissed me off. Yeah. Why was I so pissed off? Maybe I ain't get my workout in that morning. So I'm a little extra. I got a little extra in me, you know? Maybe I'm still thinking about something I did yesterday, you know? Maybe I went to bed angry already, because I didn't say what I wanted to say to the person I wanted to say to the day before. I'm still festering on conversations that I had a week ago. Those little things matter, Those little things become big things later on. 30 minutes a day just sitting back and reflecting on how life or what you did that day or how you feel and what would change the rest of your week. If you're not making the money you needed to make, who you gonna talk to? Is that Uncle Sam's issue? You knew the game was rigged in the beginning. You've been taught since you was a kid the game is rigged. But you still playing the game. So whose fault is that if you losing in the game? I play video games, right? We know sometimes there's lags and there's cheaters in the game, right? If I'm gonna get back online and play the next day and get cheated and the lag is gonna happen again, I decided to get back online. Why? Because I had faith that something else was gonna be different. Well, it wasn't. But at the end of the day, I still did it. Who fault is it? It's my fault. I should have got online. You know? Accountability comes in so many different shapes and forms. I know some people's gonna be a little stuck on the way I said, "Oh, well, you're in an abusive situation." Yeah, there are mental and factors that go into a lot of things, but at the end of the day, you got to if you take the step to say, all right, this is my fault. What can I do for me personally to change the situation? Things will look a little bit different. Little by little, things will change. And again, the small things become the big things. All right, this person ain't for me because they treat me this way. If I'm going to continue going to this person, I can't expect them to change themselves. I have to change the situation. That's taking accountability. Oh, I don't like the way I look. Well, you take the steps necessary to change the way you look. It's accountability there. I don't like how much money I make. Well, take your ass back to school or get into a field where they make more money or learn how to sell something. There's things online now that you could that will teach you how to sell. There's so many different avenues to make money. I think a lot of people suffer from when they don't want to be accountable. They start to put label on things. They like to put a label on things. They start to procrastinate. They don't want to look at themselves. They don't want to see themselves as a procrastinator. Maybe you spent the extra 2 hours on the video game and you couldn't afford 2 hours of video gaming. Maybe you broke and you out here playing GTA. Shit, I like me some GTA. I like me some Call of Duty, you know? But if I don't got that extra few hours in my time that that I use successfully, there's no reason why I should be doing that. It's a leisure thing. Unless you're getting paid for games, then by all means, do it because you're getting paid for games. And actually, that's even better because you figured out a way to make something that you like into something that you get paid for. But if you just wasted time, you just wasted time. And whose fault is that? You're going to like, my mama didn't wake me up at 9 o'clock so I couldn't make it to my job on time. Your boss ain't trying to hear that. We got money to make. Get up out of here. Accountability is huge. It's huge in the world. You got the I always this, and especially when it comes down to men. I'm sorry to cut myself off, but especially come down to men. We're competitive beings and people. That's why we play things like games, and that's why we want like fast cars, and that's why we want to be in the best places because we're competitive. Because we know that everyone else can't do that. We know everyone else can't do that. You don't get a Lamborghini because Lamborghinis are just the best cars in the world. Nah, you get a Lamborghini because you know Billy down the street can't buy a Lamborghini. So when you pull up, it's gonna look like something. You're gonna look like an amazing person. Yeah, you know? That's all I'm saying. Accountability is huge for me. I put myself on the stand and I look at myself. Look at all factors of my life. See where did I go wrong at. Talk to myself. Don't be afraid to answer yourself. They say if you answer yourself, you're crazy. But I do feel like that's also a way that they control you. They like to tell you that answering yourself is nuts. But no, maybe sometimes the voice in your head needs to be you and not someone else. You hear yourself say things like, man, I'm tired. All right, you tired? What did you do that day? How do you feel? Did you use all your time wisely that day? If you have, if you're out and you're working, you know you could work 15, 17 hours a day. Did you spend all 15, 17 hours of your day putting in as much work as possible before you actually go and ask for help? Did you do everything you were supposed to do first? That's taking accountability. You know, having lost, losing someone, feeling depressed. Depression is also another way of being lack of accountable. How quick are we able to be like, you know what? If I take this pill, if I smoke this blunt, I drink this drink, I'm going to feel better. But that's not true. Because the same situation going to happen tomorrow. You never confronted yourself in the beginning to actually be able to be able to handle that next time it shows up. I'm the if you go back to a lot of those shows that I did, I'm the kettle calling the one black right now, because how many times did I pull up? I was baked out of my goddamn head because of I was going through a lot of stuff and I wasn't being accountable for it. I wasn't taking accountability for it. I just blamed everybody. Oh my God, this guy's fault. It's that guy's fault. Nah, I decided not to do what I was supposed to do, so I had to deal with the repercussions. I always say now I'm more like I like to lose myself in myself. Bring myself to a point where it got to be like, okay, who's really in charge here? What master am I serving today? If you're someone that likes to smoke weed, you got a master. Your master's the blunt. I ain't mad at it. I'm not judging either. But you can't sit here and tell me that you did everything you're supposed to do for the day and you fried. If your choice is to drink, it's your drink. If your choice is women or men or your significant other, that's all your fault, baby. Like I said, as an adult, we have to find our balance, where when you want the life that you really want, how much are you willing to sacrifice for that life? They said God doesn't give you things that you cannot handle. God doesn't give you situations where you're going to come out weaker. He puts you in situations where it's supposed to test you so you could come out stronger. Lord knows I've been put through a lot of situations. A lot of those situations were my fault. All of them were my fault. I sat back and this person took advantage of me because I ignored this situation. Maybe this girl stepped out on me because I allowed her to step out because I didn't want to believe these situations would happen. I put my ego in front of it. You got comfortable. And this is a lovely, important nonsense podcast. So the important nonsense is the important stuff is just as if it's all nonsense to me. It's all nonsense to me. So I try my best these days to put my best foot forward, to put myself on trial on a daily basis and say, all right, what happened? What you do? Where we going? How we doing this? How you feel? Hey, who's this person? I introduced this person to my life. What can they do for me? I believe in alchemy, which is the equivalent exchange. I'm not saying no, but I believe in equivalent exchange. If you got something for me, I should have something for you. That's how relationships are born. And that's another thing. Like, don't get into friendships where it's one-sided. Like, friendships and relationships where it's one-sided. If you don't feel like you could give someone something, and you don't feel like you could do something for someone, or you don't feel like they could do, or vice versa, whatever, it's not a good relationship. That's codependency. Nobody needs to be codependent on anybody. You should have a partnership. That goes with friends, relationships, with sexual relationships, whatever. Try not to have a codependency. We can't use depression and everything as an excuse for every situation of our life. We can't use every goddamn drug that's in front of us to be like, and just be like, oh, I gotta get the edge off. And I say drug, and I think people are drugs. Feelings are drugs. The dopamine kick that we always get, that dopamine feeling, that's a drug. We can't allow that to be the forefront of what we got going on. This world is getting really hard, man. This world is getting really, really hard. I'm trying not to sound like the old head, but yo, it's not easy anymore. Everyone could watch the news and see where the world is going. If you don't see where the world is going, you're honestly just not paying attention on purpose. On purpose. And again, whose fault is that? It's not my fault. You know? The world keeps spinning with or without us. But yeah, and what, taxes are going up. Living expenses is going up. Are we going to stay in the same place? You can't live off of $1. Again, not trying to be the old head. I remember the time where $1 stretch and you could get like 4 things from the store for $1. Shit, got me some juice, a little cake, some chips. And don't have $3. You get your little sandwich, something. $1 now, you lucky you even able to get some candy from behind the Reggie, you know? Lucky. You gotta go to the dollar store, which a lot of those are going out of business. So what am I gonna do? Sit here and be like, hey, it's society's fault that I'm broke? I'm in my 30s, baby. I'm in my late 30s now. Whose fault is it? I was talking to this one young lady, and she used to always tell me like, hey, I don't know why, but my mom treat me this way, and if she would just be better to me, I think things would go differently for me. And I think life would be so much easier if my family accepted me and yada, yada, yada. And I was like, yo, you know you're an adult now, right? You know you're an adult now. You can't blame that on them no more. Maybe when you was 12, shit, nowadays you can't even do that at 15. 15 now you gotta be on some like almost some grown-up type of stuff. I've been hustling since I was 9 years old, probably earlier than that. When you have a will, when the will's there to make money, or you have the will to be better, you will find a way to do it. I wanted some cakes and I wanted to be able to eat at the cafeteria, whatever I wanted, and my peoples didn't have no money. They didn't want to give me no dollars. So I used to go, and this is before I even knew what it was. I used to go buy gum from the store. I was like 8, 9 years old. I used to go buy packs of gum at the store for like, I think at the time, what was it, 25 cents? It was like 25 cents when I was a kid. Yeah. I used to go buy gum, and I used to sell the gum for about like 15 cents, 10 to 15 cents per piece. And kids, when they see it, they be like, oh, it's only 10 cents. I got 10 cents to spare. Okay. They'll give me 10 cents. They'll give me 15 cents, whatever. But they didn't know I was doubling my money. I got 50 cents now. Go buy another pack of gum. Do it again. Yeah, man. If you really want it, you'll figure it out. If I wanted a girl at the time, or if I wanted some lady at the time, you present yourself in a way that you know she likes. Isn't it? We all men, most of them men, except for one, but you'll present yourself in a way you know she likes. You got the determination and the passion to do that. Imagine if you put that same energy into something into yourself. Yo, you know what? I want a big ass house. That's what I told myself too. What was a few years, 2 years ago? I looked at the wife and I said, "Yo, I want a house." I said, "I'm tired of acting like this. I'm tired of putting on this mask. What I want is a house." She said, "How you gonna get it?" I said, "I don't know, but now that I got the spirit, I got the determination in me. It's gonna happen. I know it's gonna happen." A year later, we moved into our own goddamn house. When you have that will and the passion and the drive to and the competitive nature to want to succeed, you'll figure it out. The same will and drive that made you want to get the girl, the same will and drive that made you want to buy the new system, or the same will and drive that made you grind out those game hours. You put that same will and that same drive into your life, you'd be surprised how far you go. And now you're talking to a former game addict, former weed head, it was former, you know what I mean, former alcoholic, former homeless man. I did all that. Joe and them likes to make jokes. They said I had like 7 lives because I got so many stories. But if you decide, I said, yo, I wasn't my mom's was like, hey yo, I got some other stuff I gotta do. What am I supposed to do? Sleep in the street? I did that shit for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And I said, you know what? I ain't gonna call this sleeping out. I ain't gonna call this homeless no more. I'm called nomadic. To this day, I was nomadic. I'm not homeless. I said, as long as I got these 2 feet, I'm gonna just walk. I'm gonna use these feet to travel. I'm gonna find a way to get to this place and that place. And that's what I did. I put on at the time I had some black Tims. These are my construction boots. I don't want to show you guys. But but I had some black Tims, and I remember lacing them up. I was supposed to go to work. I just got paid that day. I think I told the story before. Yeah, who cares? I just got paid. I was working at a catering place. It was in Totowa. I remember I had nowhere to lay my head. I went to this park in Totowa. I ain't gonna say the place because I don't want to. I laid my head down on the bench, and I remember I had a Subway sandwich, and I said, "Man, I got money in my pocket. I ain't got nowhere to put my head at, yo. I'm not gonna be homeless." So I remember sitting there saying, "I'm not gonna be homeless. You know what? I got 2 feet. I'm gonna move. I'm nomadic. I'm not homeless. I'm nomadic now." So, and I tied up my boots and I just started walking. So let's go till I get tired. Right? I cross on foot, cross 3 state lines. You know, finally got tired and found a place a little sleep. I went to I slept at this what was I? Connecticut. Went to Connecticut. I slept in one what was a hotel and got a job for 2 weeks. They paid me daily. I'm telling you, you'll find a way, yo. All because I told myself I would never be homeless. That's crazy. I'm not gonna sleep outside. I ain't gonna eat with these suckers out here and drink. You know what I mean, I ain't doing that. So they paid me daily. I paid the hotel room. I kept doing that for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I had enough money in my pocket. I said, I don't want to be here no more because Connecticut is a goddamn highway and I don't want to be living on the highway. Left. Massachusetts. I said, you know what? I don't want this cold over here. Let me go further south. Travel down, cross past, jumped on Greyhounds, crossed the United States. And all of a sudden, I'm finding myself, except for being homeless, on an adventure. There was bumps and, of course, there's hard things that was going to happen on the road and stuff like that. But the whole point of the whole story is that when when you put something in your mind, you'll figure out a way to do it. I said I wasn't going to be homeless, and I don't care if I didn't have a place to live. And I wasn't homeless. So I traveled, moved around, went to Japan, Thailand, all that good stuff. Started sparring. I was probably doing some things that I wasn't supposed to do also. But you figure it out. You figure it out. You know? When I decided, I was like, all right, I'm tired of this life. I settled down, talked to a friend, slept in their basement, got out their basement, met some girl, yada, yada, yada. Story, story, story. But it's the fact that I took accountability for my life and who I was as a person and what I wanted to do and what the type of life I wanted at the time is what allowed me to push on. And every time I forgot that, life went sideways. When I didn't take accountability, when I was playing, I ain't gonna hold you, 10 hours of games, yo. It was one of the, I remember when Black Ops first came out. You couldn't get me off Black Ops for nothing, yo. What happened after that? I lost the girlfriend at the time. I lost my home, and not my home. I just lost respect with people. I was more shut in. It was hard for me to communicate with other people. It's my fault. I did that. So I got a little chunky. Got all my freaking stomach start going over the belt. Who falls that? It's my fault. Me eating Bojangles. That's right. I was in North Carolina at that time. Bojangles is the devil, dogs. The devil. I don't care who you are. Bojangles is the yo. You know what? I want everyone to. There's a light in the mood. I want everyone to. If you in North Carolina or in the South and you near a Bojangles, just sit outside the Bojangles and watch the people coming in and out. All right. I know Bojangles is so good. It's so good. They got this. They got this biscuit that has like blueberries, and not only did the biscuit have blueberries, they dip it in icing. Like they dip the whole grandma biscuit into icing, yo. And then I was eating, and then it got the sausage, egg, and cheese. It's not no McDonald's sausage, egg, and cheese. It's like they went in the back, they killed the damn cow in the back, yo. And they've got they took the eggs right out the freaking chicken, and they cut up, they doing everything right there and there in front of you. Yeah, it is insanely good. Start getting a little turkey neck. You feel me? This neck start getting fat right here. It's like a little, get the little chicharrones going. It was nasty. I had love handles and shit. I didn't want this. You know what really got me? The girl I was with, yo. You know what I mean? We was performing. We was doing that thing, and she grabbed my love handles, and I said, "Oh no, now you ain't gonna grab my love handles. I do the grabbing." So I can't blame anybody for that though. That was me. I remember being sad and all that stuff. It was terrible. It was terrible. But end of the day, where we at in time? Okay, we gotta go. End of the day, there's no one else's fault but yours. Take accountability for your life. Take accountability for who you are. Take accountability for your character. Because, again, at a certain age and at a certain point in your life, you can't blame everybody else for you being an asshole. You're an asshole because you're an asshole. That's just what it is. You know what I mean? You can't be like, oh, I was raised wrong. No, you're an asshole. That's just what it is. You know? You can't, so oh, why don't people want to deal with me? Maybe it's you. You don't got to lie to no one, but maybe it's you. Most of the time, you'll realize it is you. You know? Or just wake up every day before you go to bed. Just think about your day. Did I do everything I was supposed to do today? Did I fit all the hours I fit in that I was supposed to fit in? Did I take charge of the things I was supposed to take charge of? And then you could put in the pieces where you need to put in the pieces. All the extra stuff. If you need help and all that other stuff, that you could fit that in as long as you know that you fully did everything you were supposed to do. Then you could put in the extra pieces here and there. I was talking about this last week. This studio didn't happen overnight, yo. I remember me and Joe carrying boxes all over Jersey, yo. New York. We was carrying boxes everywhere, yo. We was doing this in a small little apartment where we just had one little computer and one little freaking iPhone camera, you know what I'm saying? And we rocked like that for 2 years, made movies and everything off of that. Because at the end of the day, we're like, yo, if this is what we want to do, this is what we want to do. Can't make no excuses about it. You know, nobody's going to give us a chance unless we want to take a chance on ourselves. You know? So again, look at your life. Take accountability. It's your boy Matt from the Lovely Important Nonsense podcast. And I'm out.